first thing I want you.
Sorry, we forgot to record.
It's fine. It's fine. So happy New Year, everybody. Here's the first thing I want you to write down. Everyone grab a pen real quick, wherever you are, write this down. You are not the manager of your circumstances. You are, however, the creator of your life. So, you're not reacting to your environment. You're going to act on your environment, and you're going to take massive action. And one of the favorite Tony Robbins quotes is execution trumps strategy every day of the week, man. Execute, execute, execute. And the other one I think is huge. Hey, Rich Thomasini, I just saw you pop in. You get those cool Tom Cruise glasses. I have my CVS readers for $19. I look good. But so here's the deal. Progress before perfection. It's going to help a lot of you guys. I got to learn the scripts. Man, if you go apply massive action, you are the script. I am the script. I will learn, because you're going to why'd I say it like that? Well, because you're new. And the more you say it, you pick up on nuances. When I say this, they tilt their head this way. And when I do this, they do this. And when they bob, I weave. When they zig, I zag. And all of a sudden you become a savant. You become so good through failure. And everyone, another key salient point, as they say, I want you all to write this down. Failure is the key to my success this year. I want to succeed. I never want to fail, but I'm so willing to fail. Are you? What got in your way last year? I know it is for every one of you, me included. Your ego. Write this down. Key salient point number 3. Your ego is not your amigo, right? For most of you, right? For at times, you better make it your amigo. You're not in a narcissistic way where you look in the mirror. Oh, hey, Becky Colburn, I just saw you. How are you? But when you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, you're such a good-looking stud. You're a beautiful woman. You're a beautiful. I'm not talking about narcissism or over self-adulation, but also self-hatred. Being like, just being disgusted with yourself and like, I'm too fat, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too skinny, I don't sound like Cari, Briner, or Becky Colburn, or Rich Thomasini, or whoever. If I could be like Brent, man, be you with authenticity. In 2023, people resonate with authenticity. And God made you the way he made you. You're perfect. You're freaking amazing. You know what the problem is? You don't believe it. No, not me. See, your ego is not your amigo. Key salient point number 4. I'm just making this stuff up, but I feel pretty good about it. Is the enemy is the enemy. I'm not making it up. I've heard it. I've heard that one too. So it's not like I'm making it up, but I'm reminding you of key things. It's what you say to yourself, right? So why is your ego keeping you from what you really want in life? Private school from your kids, freedom, money in the bank, debt-free, no financial stress. Why is your ego keeping you broke? Because you don't want to be seen as that gal, that guy, the guy around town. I don't want to be seen that way. What? The loving, helping, caring. Well, yeah, but if I call them, they're going to go, not another EXP agent. So there you go, thinking about yourself again. How about thinking about rescuing them? I drive by Keller Williams and I feel sorry for them. Everybody in the building. I drive by Coldwell Banker and I pity them with empathy, not a disgust, like, oh my gosh, if they only knew what is here for them to embrace. Does that mean everyone's succeed here? No. This is the 80-20 rule. Don't you feel bad about the 80%? Not at all. They're not ready. When they're ready, they'll be ready. I'm excited for the 20%, and I'll love the 80%. I have 80% they didn't build, they didn't do anything, but they have $2 million worth of stock, $1 million worth of stock, $500,000 worth of stock, $5 million worth of stock. Those are the ones who failed. The ones who failed at EXP have $5 million worth of stock. Our failures are multimillionaires. That's kind of cool. Yeah, but I missed that opportunity. You guys, you haven't seen nothing yet. And the next 5 years, we're going to have a whole nother wave. I truly believe our stock is going to double and triple from 4 to 6 billion. And you will be a part of that wave unless you do what I did. You peel off 200,000 of your stock and you put it in a backyard like Lisa Sears. Hi, Lisa. And I love your backyard. It's beautiful. So I put in the pool, the palm trees, the umbrellas, that backdoor yard kitchen. And I finished it 6 months before COVID. And we did spend 2 months in the backyard during COVID, or whatever. It was awesome. But that 200,000, the stock 10x'd and it went at one point, it was literally like 15x'd, and that backyard cost me $3 million. Right? Because I sold 200,000 of stock and then the stock went nuts. I always tell people, you ever seen a $3 million backyard pool? I have one. Now, when I sold it, it seemed like a good idea. Hey, show people the stock's real. You can't eat stock, and it's worthless until you sell it. So I sold some to prove, look, this whole backyard's paid cash for it. I've never sold a share since. So here's the deal. Your ego is keeping you from having the group you want. It's keeping you from the FLQAs you want, because you refuse to make the calls because they might say something mean. They might say that. They might say this. I'm not sure what to do. Ooh. If you go snow skiing with me every day for the next 30 days, the snow skier you started when you and I start and the snow skier that will be your snowboarding 30 days from now, two totally different people. What's the difference? What Cari was talking about, the consistency and the persistency. Now, if we do an hour a day, that's good. But if we did 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day for 30 days, oh, baby. Well, that's a lot of work. You sound like a teenager, right? A lot of work is like 20 hours a day, 6 and 7 days a week. That's when you're going caveman, cavewoman. Like if you have a grocery problem, like you're not feeding your family, if you're worried about putting gas in the tank, if you're worried about your car being repossessed or being kicked out of your apartment or your home, you need to go absolutely freaking bonkers with massive action. And you can solve your issue really, really, really quick. So this year's a double-edged sword. What do I mean by that? Well, if the economy and the interest rates doing what it did, real estate is no longer the gravy train that it was for the last 10 years. It was a gravy train. So here's the deal. The people who struggled during the gravy train, they're leaving the industry. They're not just leaving EXP. They're leaving Coldwell, Realty One, Keller Williams, Remax. They're leaving the industry. They were starving then. They realize it's over now. And it's going to be tough. So we are going to lose people. Every company's losing people. So here's the deal. But while you're doing this, unless your revenue share covers your bills, you got to sell homes. That's the double-edged sword. So real estate is going to be tougher. Now, if you lean into it, it can actually get easier. Number one. Number two, the sword cuts both ways. Agents are going to leave their brokerages. They don't leave in a boom market. And in a boom market, EXP grew to almost 87,000 agents or hit 87,000 agents. That simply does not happen. It's unheard of. When Century 21 exploded, down market in the 70s. And then when Remax exploded in the 80s and the 90s, down market. When Keller Williams exploded 05 to 012, down market. EXP exploded in an up market. Never happened. And we grew 4 times bigger in a 6-year period. It took them 20 years to get to 20,000. In 6 years, we went to over 80,000. We grew quadruple. We didn't quadruple 4. We didn't go from 4 to 16. Going from 4 to 16 is easy to quadruple. You quadruple 20,000. You add 80,000 people, but you don't do it in 20 years. You don't add 20,000 in 20 years like Remax did 20 years. Keller Williams broke the record, of course. They did it in 19 years, 1 year. But in 6 years, we added 85,000 agents. It took them 20 years. We quadrupled what it took them to 20 years to do in a fraction of the time. Now, here's the deal. When do people move? In the down market. They're not going to rock the boat. When Keller Williams knocked on my door for 9 years. I was like, I'm sure you guys are great, but I'm making millions of dollars at Remax. I'm not rocking this boat. Remax has been great to me. I'm doing good. If I need to learn something, I'll go to Brian Buffetti, Craig Proctor, Howard Brent, Star Power, all the same people that go to your mega camp, they're all there too. And I don't need to go to Keller Williams. But when did I make a change? In 2009, in my pain, when I was no longer selling 469 homes a year, I was down to like 100. And that may sound good, 100, but when your overhead requires at least 250, 100's like devastation. I have 13 full-time employees I'm paying for. And so what I'm telling you is this year, all the people that are going from 50 to 25, from 40 to 20, from 30 to 15, when production's going to be cut in half, some of them will blame their brokerage. I didn't blame Remax in 2009 when I switched to Keller Williams. I just said, I didn't blame anybody. I go, I need something different. I need to be around a new group of people. I need to do whatever I'm doing. I need to change it because I'm going under. And that's when I moved to Keller Williams. That's when a lot of people moved to Keller Williams. Well, we are the thing this year. And in 10 years, 15 years, and maybe another company, that's okay. Think, well, then why start? Because you can make a fortune in a short period of time. So here's the deal. We're going to lose people too. Some of our people are going to blame EXP or I need a change. Now, here's why we're in great shape. They lose something when they leave EXP. When I left Remax in 2009, I lost nothing. When I left Keller Williams in 2017, I lost nothing because I owned nothing. At EXP, people own something. They're going to think twice about it. So even the ones who don't have an organization, they have got stock awards the last year or 2 or 3. So we are in a much better situation to retain our agents. We're the only company in the world making its agents part owners with Glenn Sanford. So what we have is very special. So what you have to do is light yourself on fire. You have to absolutely go bonkers and realize that this is winter and you were made for winter. And then build it on your knees. Break out your secret superpower, which is prayer. Get before the Lord, and worship and pray. Now, if you don't do that, you're like, hey man, I'm not religious, then meditate. I don't know, go do what you do, but look for that inner strength. And so that's what I do. That's my super secret power that's helped me build a big organization. That's what I do. That's like me. I just heard a Christmas message on Christmas. It's not happy holidays. It's Merry Christmas. And the Christ stands for Christ. It's all about Jesus born in a manger and all that, right? Heard the best message I've ever heard preached by Steve Johnstone out of South Africa. He built 500 agents in his rev share organization for EXP by himself. I didn't help him. Nobody helped him. And he did his church realizes how gifted he is. He did the Christmas message, best one I've ever heard. I have a family chat with all my kids on it. I said, whoever listens to this and can answer these 3 questions, I want to make sure they actually hear it, I'll give you $500. If you need $500 for something, I will sell it to you like right now. It was so good. It was so powerful. I heard things I've heard a million. I've heard 40 years of Christmas messages. A lot of people go to church at Christmas and Easter and nothing the rest of the year. Holy smokes, this guy hit a grand slam home run. So now if you're just not into that sort of thing, no problemo. You do what you're into, but I am. But utilize that secret weapon and kick in massive action and realize it's a double-edged sword this year. You got to survive, so you have to do sales. So that's where you step up and you time block. And you say, from this time to this time, I do real estate. From this time to this time, I do agent expansion and I build my revenue share organization, not your downline. I beg everybody on this Zoom, when there's 70, 80 of you, almost 80, to never use the word downline. It's a derogatory term. You don't have a downline. You have a revenue share organization and you have business partners. This is my business partner. If Cari was my sponsor, I don't say she's my sponsor. I want you to meet my business partner, Cari Briner. I want you to meet my business partner, Becky Colburn. I want you to meet my business partner, Lisa Sears. And I'm your cross line. I want to meet my cross line, Brent Gove. No, Lisa, I mean, don't take this wrong. I'm not sure if you're in my group or not. Blessed to have 35,000 now. I cannot keep track of it all. How would you guys like to have that? It's like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm very grateful. But and maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but you could say still, this is my business partner because we're in EXP together. We all own stock. We all own a piece of this company. A rising tide rises all ships. And so we're business partners. We're not upline. We're not downline. We're not crossline. Those are network marketing buzzwords. So really, really learn to eliminate those from your vocabulary. We copied the Keller Williams model. No one would say Keller Williams is a network marketing company. I'm not anti-network marketing at all. God bless people that get off the couch, onto their feet, into the battle, into the heat, and go do something besides be a couch potato. God bless them. Tupperware, Mary Kay, prepaid legal, whatever it is, ACN, awesome, good for them, all for it. Go do something with your life, do something great. Listen to Zig Ziglar, listen to Jim Rome, listen to Tony Robbins, go to 10X. I'll be at 10X in February in Las Vegas. I'm going to hear amazing speakers. I met Gary Breckett through 10X, you know, and some John Maxwell through 10X and TD Jakes through 10X, you know. Well, you know, lose the attitude. Well, I don't like Tony Robbins or I don't like Grant Cardone. You can meet. It's not about Tony or Grant. It's about the other speakers and the people you meet. It's so powerful. And so fill your heart with love and joy and peace. When you enter the room, lift the room and be cognizant of your face. Even on the Zoom, I'm always making sure I'm smiling. Learn to smile when you talk. Learn to smile when you look. I'm always nodding and engaging because trust me, Ross and Amy Weaver and Mark McClaskey, I'm just shooting around. I'm talking. I'm looking at you guys. I see who gets on the phone. I see who's texting, and be aware that if you're going to take a phone call, turn your video off. It's very distracting, right? And so just cut it off and take the call. It's cool. Pop back on when you can, but be aware of those things. So what I can tell you this year is it's a double-edged sword. The opportunity to recruit, we're going to grow by 100,000 agents in the next 36 months. It's going to happen. We're the place. But here's the deal. Now, here's the cool part. The people we're losing, and I'm sad they're choosing to go take jobs and they're going to do, but they weren't selling in the boom market. So now they're definitely not selling. And now they just have MLS renewals, board renewals, R85 a month, and their spouse is going, sweetheart, I love you, but you need to kind of put that on ice till the market comes back, and they're leaving. So we're losing numbers, right? And that hurts your ego. Your ego's not your amigo. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Well, they weren't selling. What are you really losing? I'm not saying people are nothing, but the production was nothing. You're losing nothing. It hurts your ego. And you think, yeah, but I'm breaking even. You're growing like crazy. If your numbers aren't dropping, you're growing because you're adding the people that were doing 20 sales that dropped to 10, or 30 that dropped to 15, or 50, and now they're doing 35. But they're like, I need a change. And all of a sudden, I love my broker, but I need to do something different. It's not working. I love my friends at the office. I love my office location. I love my office location. I love my friends at the office. I love my broker. And I did too. When did I leave? In my pain. What is on the menu for the real estate business for the next 24 to 36 months is pain. What causes your muscles to grow at the gym? Pain. And so what causes those things? So good times create weak men and women. Weak men and women create bad times. Bad times were made for people to step up and arise from the ashes like the phoenix and become amazing, powerful, great men and women. And it's a circle of life. Rome fell from within, but you can step up and lead the way for your group. Write this down. Key salient point number 5. And I didn't write them down. I have no idea, but write down what you hear. It helps you pay attention. The speed of the leader determines the pace of the pack. If you don't like what's happening in your group, don't blame Mark Grant. Don't blame Worley Real Estate Network. I'm seeing you guys. What's up? Don't blame Sheena Shaw or Lisa Martin or Lonnie Luke or William Beck. Don't. It's Kevin who loves the biking Kevin. don't, that's when you're a victim. That's Amy Weaver. If she would just come do a Zoom with me, she's so awesome. Look, my state broker in this state, if they fire people. And so I get that. Those are things you deal with, but you don't be a victim. Be a victor. Stuff happens to all of us. And so be upset for 60 seconds, 2 minutes. If a political person does something, you love Trump, you love Biden, celebrate it for a minute or two. If they do something that upsets you, let it upset you for the 60-second rule and stop. Because a big sucking sound is your attitude going down the drain. And you're like, I can't get anyone to join me because you've been sucking on politics. Poly meaning many, ticks meaning bloodsuckers. Okay. So that's the definition of politics. Now I'm super political. I believe everybody should be super, super political, and you need to vote. You need to compare people to vote, whatever that is for you. I have definite thoughts on free market and capitalism. I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. And I have definitely thoughts on defense and the borders and taxation and all that. But this is not the place where I don't do that. But I definitely donate money. I mean, all it takes for evil to prevail in this world is for good men and good women to do nothing. I try to stay aware of what's going on and vote for the right people and all that sort of thing. And so let me tell you what, this is your moment. You will go under or over. You will shine or you will fade away and say, not me, baby. If it's too tough for you, it's just right for me. And so the 100,000 people that come in the next 36 months, they're all producers. And they're going to make a shift. So you're going to lose non-producers and gain producers. So if you're even shredding right now, even or growing a little bit, I've grown every single month. I grew here in December. So, hey, we're growing like crazy. Now it's the lowest growth rate I've ever seen. I'll give you that. But I know that I look at who's going. They haven't made a sale in a year, in 6 months. And are they valuable as human souls? Absolutely. They're not nothing. What I'm saying is you're losing the production, which is nothing. And you think, yeah, but I had 80 agents and I got 85 right now. And I gained 25 and I lost 20. It feels like 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Or maybe you were 85 and you're 78. And you actually dropped 7. How would you lose? Oh man, I lost 15. How would you gain? I only gained 11. Look at what those 11 do. I bet you they're all in production. And look at the 15 you lost. Sometimes we'll lose some producers. We're going to lose some producers who get enticed with the offer of a development. Hey, you can have this development, but you got to move to Coldwell Banker. Hey, you can have this account, but you got to move to Remax. Hey, we're going to do this for you at Keller Williams. And there'll be a few producers that leave. We'll take our lumps, but we're going to 10 to 20x that on the growth side of things. So don't be surprised. Don't be depressed. Get excited and realize you're replacing the non-producers with producers. And as we grow through this, you're going to be a better agent, a better broker associate, and your revenue share is going to explode coming out of this. When I say explode, holy moly, it's going to double, triple, and quadruple. And so one of the things you need to do is get over 20 ASAP, 20 FLQA. Quit saying that I have sponsored 30, but I have 13 FLQA. Why would you ever talk to anybody like that? Just say I have 13 FLQA. I don't say I went on 80 listing appointments, but I have 20 listings. Say I went on 20, I have 20 listings. Right? Are you with me? I have 40 frontline agents on my production team, but I've had over 200 over the last 15 years. Quit talking about your FLAs. Stop. Remove the dang button from the dashboard. Who cares about FLAs? What does it stand for? Featured living agents? I don't even know what Amy, what is an FLA? I can't even think of what it is right now. What does FLA stand for, Amy? I don't even know.
Frontline agent.
Frontline agent.
Frontline agent. Yeah, there you go. I literally couldn't think of what it was. What the heck's an FLA? No, FLQA, frontline
But,
qualified
Brett,
agent.
Qualified, yeah.
what's a PNP?
Yeah, I found out. Procter and Gamble, no. Policies and procedure manual, I just learned. And I've been here,
Okay.
never read it, but policies and procedure, never read it at Remax, never read it at Keller Williams, never. But I don't do funky, weird stuff. And when I do, if I make a mistake, they let me know. I'm like, oh, thanks. And I stop doing that stuff. Right. And you'll find out if you violate something in the Paul, I do, rarely it happens, maybe once a year. And usually it's because somebody posted something or did something and it wasn't me. And I'll get a call from Corey Agger going, hey, I didn't post that. I'm not mass emailing that. I'm not mass texting that. Don't mass email, don't mass text. Clean up your mess when you go grocery shopping, but the shopping cart back where the shopping cart thing goes. Don't just put it next to the car or behind the car next to you. When you go camping, leave it cleaner than you found it. If you see litter, pick it up. Leave the world a better place. You hit the beach and there's a bunch of stuff, go pick it up and then walk 80 yards to a trash can and put it away. Don't go, man, somebody should do something about it. Man, you do something about it. You baby, it's all you. I wish the neighbors would clean up the house for my listing. There's 10 newspapers on the roof. Get a rake and go, hey, can I get those off your roof? I'm selling the house next door. Do you mind? Yeah, go for it. It's too high for me. Boom, 10 papers come off the roof. You do that? Oh, hell yes, I do. By the way, I have a lawnmower guy mowing the lawn because we're putting it on the market. I've noticed yours is like 3 feet high. Do you mind if my lawnmower guy mows your front lawn and edges it? No charge, my treat. But I'm trying to sell Bob and Jackie's house next door. Would that be cool? Oh yeah, have at it. Hell, I don't want to do it. I kind of know that. I'm gonna say that. So you mow the neighbors' homes all around the home you're selling. Mm-hmm. There's a pile of trash 50 yards down. I send my handyman, pick it up and haul it away. Well, it's not my job. The city should do it. That's victim. I'm victorious. I do what it takes when it takes, whether I feel like it or not. I'll paint the neighbor's house that looks horrible, so my listing looks better. You'd paint the front of a house. Yeah, $1,200. Absolutely. B, just knock the worst. They say, no, I love turquoise. I love turquoise. I dream about turquoise. I love my pink house. I say, do you mind if we paint your house? Looks like it has a paint job. I see it's peeling. We're trying to sell a neighbor's house here. Worst thing to do is tell me no. I don't care. You do that stuff. So I'm going to open it up for Q&A. And anything goes here, questions about it, but hopefully I've chummed the waters here, got you thinking. And I should have asked how much I had. I probably had 5 minutes and I just went for 30 or whatever.
No, you're perfect. We still have 20 left. So
20 left.
Yeah,
I'd love
Q&A
to
would be
dive.
amazing.
I would love to dive into some Q&A about things I've said. And here's the ground rules. A, it has to be super positive. No, it's not the bitch time. So if you have a bitchy question, frame it in a positive way. B, if you're like, I don't want to raise my hand, put it in the chat bar. And I'm going to have Cari read the chat, go, oh, this is a really good question that would benefit the group. If it's a question that's just not going to really benefit the group, Cari, don't read it. And I'd be happy to talk with you on an individual basis. Please reach out to me and we'll get it done. If it's workplace chat, not great at that. So it's going to be a while. Might be a 2-3 weeks for me to get to workplace chat. It just is what it is. But let's do some Q&A. By the way, if you go to your screen, I learned to do this and you hit reactions, look down there, see it? And then you go raise hand. Boom. I just put a raise hand on my screen and it bumped me to the left-hand corner. So I am the most non-techie guy, then watch this lower hand. Boom, there it goes. So if you have a question, go to reactions on your iPhone, just touch your screen, you'll see reactions and then raise hand. And I'm going to take questions from people who raise their hand with that little silly yellow hand. If I can do it, being the most non-techie person on this call, I think whiteboards are sexy and a little use. I have 20 yellow notepads that my laptop's sitting on because I like that and coffee. So the first person we're going to go to is Ross. Anyone who wants to join Ross and start triggering and then chat. If you don't want to be on camera, some of you, there's 75. So there's like 25 on camera and 50 that aren't. Put it in the chat. We'll read the chat. We'll start with Ross. Hand raising people are first, by the way. Ross, good to see you, buddy. What city and state are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ottawa, Canada.
Oh,
And
Canadian. I
Oh.
love maple syrup. Go ahead.
oh, thank you. So do I. Like my kids love it. It's the best stuff ever. Yeah, so I started with EXP about 3 months ago, and just wanted to ask you, Brent,
Welcome.
where would you source realtors first? To recruit. Thank you.
Great question. I never called cold call. I don't recommend cold calling. It's a blood sport. I do have an agent with 1,000 people in his group, and he cold called, and he would sponsor 1 out of every 1,000, literally 1,000 calls to get 1. He tracked it. It was 1 per 1,000. Sponsored 27 people. He called 27,000 people. He'd spend hours and hours and hours a day. I sponsored, I think 35 in my first 6 months. I called 189 people total, not 27,000. So I knew some of them from open houses, some of them I did deals, some of them I knew from the board, some of them I knew from wherever I knew them. And previous company, I'd worked at Remax, Keller, and think, well, I don't have that background. It might be a little harder for you. People say, well, Brent, you're an overnight success. Yes, I'm a 27-year overnight success. Well, it's going to be easier for you. It should be. I've been doing this for 27 years. I died to learn how to become a listing agent for years. I suffered in other ways. So yes, it was. You will have to suffer. You don't get a great body without going to the gym and suffering and feeling some resistance. Disease is the aggressive pursuit of comfort. And so if your finances are plagued with low financial impact, it's the aggressive pursuit of comfort. Your future lies in the realm of being uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable, get on the struggle bus, just get it over with. And then you become like a little beast. Like, this is fun. I'm having a great time. It doesn't suck. Oh my God, people respond to me because they're like, what is it about her? What is it about Mark Gant? I love that guy. He's just freaking magnetic. I'll give you an example. And then I'm going to go to the Worley Real Estate Network. I like that. So I walked into Sleep Train, a big mattress store here Friday. Walk in the door. The guy looks vaguely familiar. I haven't been there in years. And he goes, hey, I know you. And I'm like, okay, this is a good start, and we bought a heavenly bed from Nordstrom's. It's being delivered this week. And we have a Sleep Number bed I spent like $10,000 on. And I know some of you love your Sleep Number bed. Not us. It's technology, man. You get in, it deflates and it inflates. And it's like, oh my God. I was like, here, take it. Anybody, come get it. It's brand new, $10,000 bed. Get this out of my house. I just want to get on my bed and not do math or worry about stuff. Anyways. So we were thinking we could use the base. So it's got hydraulic lifts under there and just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So I had to order a bed frame. So I walk into Sleep Train. I said, I know you. And I said, oh, hey, cool. And thanks. I didn't really say anything about it. I said, hey, I need to get a California King bed frame, the little, cost. And he said, yeah, it's $120, no problem. We sit down and do it. I go, so how do you know me? He goes, well, you walked in here 2 years ago and bought our best mattress. You could put a glass of wine on it and then jump up and down next to the glass of wine. It doesn't tip over, whatever, orthopedic tempera, whatever it is. And he goes, how'd you like that bed? I go, not really for us. He goes, yeah, people love it or they hate it. I go, well, we didn't hate it, but we gave it away to somebody else and tried it purple. We've been on this quest to find the right mattress for us. And we're going back to the heavenly bed. I think it doesn't matter, but I go, but why'd you remember me? You've sold hundreds of thousands. You've been doing this 2 years. He goes, you had so much energy when you walked in here. You were just different, dude. And you were so excited about real estate. And he goes, I'm the store manager. When you left, I Googled your name, Brent Gove. And he goes, I saw you were a super active agent, da, da, da. And then I clicked on your YouTubes. I subscribed to I watch you on YouTube all the time, dude. You inspire me. And so who are you, And so I learned a long time ago to be a room lefter, that energy. Tony Robbins taught me energy is the key to a good relationship. It's the key to being successful at prospecting. You want a relationship with God. What kind of energy do you put into that? Or you just give God, oh God, I don't feel close to God. Well, whose fault is that? And so bring energy to what matters in your life. And So I said, hey, we're starting a boot camp Tuesday. You want to be a part of it? You should be a part of it. You probably can't. It's 10:30 to noon. Every Tuesday, 12 weeks, you should be a part of it. And he goes, you know what's funny? It's my only day off. I could totally be a part of it. I go, you should. You'll A, know what it takes to become a real estate agent. B, you can ask yourself, am I willing to do that? And C, you can finally get the courage to get out of here. They pay you just enough to make ends meet. You got some benefits, but you know you were made for more. And so, oh, that's so fun, man. Why can't I sound like him? Because you haven't failed enough like I have. You haven't face planted. You haven't said stupid stuff like, why'd I say that? But I have. Because my ego's not my amigo. I was willing to fail. I was willing to get muddy and scuff up my face and say stupid stuff with velocity. Key salient point number 7, I'm going to the Whirlies. Say stupid stuff with velocity. Within 2, 3, 4 weeks, you'll be like a savant. You quit saying stupid stuff because you refuse, because your ego won't you do it. I might embarrass myself. What would they think? What would they think? Narcissist, you're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about what this could do for them. You're thinking about your stupid ego and it might hurt your feelings. You're being selfish as hell is what's going on. So just throw caution to the wind and be the love boat, be bigger than life. And if they're not interested, it's fine. You're moving on. It's cool. You with me? I know you are. Okay. The Worley Real Estate Network. What's up, guys?
Hey, thanks, Brent. Good to see you. And it's so nice to see a guy who is as non-techie as me. Like I love whiteboards and notepads as much as you do. Like I literally tried to raise my hand and I waved at everybody instead. So like I'm learning on this call how to do tech. So thank
Good.
So
what city and state are you from?
Branson, Missouri.
Branson, Missouri. Right on.
Our Worley Real Estate Network across the country.
Top of the Rock, isn't there that golf course there? Top of the Rock. I've been there.
Yeah, beautiful
Fun.
place.
Yeah.
A lot of great investments in second homes and short-term rentals here, if anybody's an investor. So, hey, I have heard that one of the best ways to really grow your network is to start hosting some lunch and learns, EXP explained, live events, little, networking, type presentations. My goal is to learn the best scripts out there and then to train people, whether they're here locally in my network or recruit to other towns, and to train a trainer to be able to, one, successfully do these EXP explained, and 2, train other people to do them and create leaders in those cities that are doing those. So where are the best resources for us to learn those scripts and to lock down that training so I can take massive action and start?
Yeah. I wouldn't do the EXP explained unless you have 10,000 hours of mastery in presenting. I have that. I've done that. I was good at it. Get your 10,000 hours of mastery in something else, because while you're burning through the 100 people 200-300 and you're learning. That's your. I played Rob Flick's video religiously. The model explained. I didn't present it. Rob did, and he was 10,000 hours of mastery. So. What you should do, I do love the idea of get belly button to belly button, eyeball to eyeball, pulling people together. You bring in some paper plates, napkins. Don't forget the napkins. Order 10 deli sandwiches, cut them in half, and bottles of water. No soda, no chips. Chips, they rattle. Watch, you'll bring the chips. You'll forget that they rip it open. It's like crumple, and everyone's looking over. There's always that guy. No chips. Simple. Keep it simple. Grab a sandwich and a bottle of water, a napkin, and a plate. Hey, lunch is provided. It's cheap that way too, by the way. And then teach what you're good at. Maybe you're good at TikTok. Maybe you're good at Instagram. Maybe you're good at YouTube. Maybe you're good at a podcast. Maybe you're good at social media. Maybe you're good at KV Core. Maybe you're good at open houses. Maybe you're good at team building. Maybe you're good at door knocking. Maybe you're good at calling expireds. Maybe you're good. Do I need to go further? And so find your superpower. What is it I'm good at? And then teach that, and then help them. They go, well, you just want me to come to EXP. I said, no, in fact, I forbid you to come to EXP. Stay at Sotheby's for the next 30 years. Come to my event and learn TikTok. It's going to change your life. Don't let your kids suffer because you're so addicted to Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams. Come to this. I will introduce you to stars who are killing it. And I'm gonna add $200,000-$300,000 to your income this year, not your team leader at Remax or Keller Williams, but you got to come and listen to me, lose the attitude. You're not allowed. I'll tell you right now, Becky Colburn, you're not allowed to come to EXP. Stay at Dixon Realty, stay at, whatever. And I say it to people all the time when they get a little snarky, well, I go, no. I go, come and then go back to Remax and kill it. Go back to Berkshire Hathaway and Keller Williams and kill it. It's about your kids. I always invite them that way. And then don't talk about EXP. Make your content so good. Why? I have nothing to share. Then ask me to come. Ask Gene Frederick to come. Ask Jeff Whitespear. I'm flying him here this month, and his wife Amanda. They sell 700 homes a year through KV Core. I'm not teaching KV Core. You know what I know about KV Core? Nothing. I turned it on my first month. I paid $350. I got 120 leads. I'm like, I do not have time for this. I turned it off. I've never looked at it since. I've got 1 month's worth of experience. I know nothing about KV Core. But people who are drawn to internet marketing, which I have never been drawn to, they love it. So Jeff and Amanda are coming in from Houston all the way out to California. I bribe them with Napa. What do you got? You got Top of the Rock in Missouri. You got Niagara Falls. If you live by Niagara Falls, maybe you got the Grand Canyon. Maybe you're in Las Vegas or what do you have to bribe people to come see you and use it, right? You're in Florida. Hey, come out here, can have a great vacation. I'll pay for your flights. Well, that sounds expensive. Have you looked at airfare? Google, they live in Phoenix to Miami. What's a flight? $299. I'll fly your wife out too. Nobody flies anywhere. It's $600. Well, I don't go $600. Do you got a lender? Yeah, they'll pay for half. That's $300. Do you have a general contractor? He'll pay the other half. It costs you nothing to fly somebody out, and just say, you just take care of your own room. I will fly you and your spouse out. Your little vacation on the Space Coast out here in Florida. Maybe go to Disney World while you're here. Come on, get smart, get scrappy. And so you should not be personally presenting EXP. Find Gene Frederick has a great way to do it. I think Jake Hinder has one. I have one, thebottleexplain.com. Maybe somebody else does, but make sure it is good, whatever it is. I am absolutely not a fan of the 7-minute video or the 9-minute video. Everybody wants to, well, it's hard to get them to watch the 30-minute video. It's like saying it's hard to get a listing appointment. Of course it is. But once you figure it out, it's easy. It's the easiest dumb thing in the world. But you got to figure it out. But so, because it's hard, it's easier for you to watch 9 minutes. They just want enough information to give you a quick reaction. Yeah, I watched the video, not for me. The other thing is, you always watch it with them. Here's how they watch it. While they're typing, watching the video, doing an addendum. Watching the video, the dog's barking, hey, shut the dog. Someone get the doorbell. DoorDash. They walk off, pay the guy, tip him, come back. Videos ran for 5 minutes. Take a phone call. They're watching the video. Did you watch it? Yeah, I watched the video. They didn't watch the video. It may have ran for 33 minutes. They didn't watch the video. Whose fault is that? It's your fault. Well, they live 3,000 miles away in Florida. I'm in Seattle, Washington. You ever heard of Zoom? You ever heard of the share my screen button? You mean I have to watch it with every person? Yeah, I watched it every single morning of my life in person. I didn't recruit people around America. How do you keep that together? How do you keep that together? Everyone I sponsored was right here in Roseville. And I could take them all to dinner, pizza. I could take them to the lake and have a volleyball picnic and gather my group and hold them together like a little mother hen. I'm at like, 60 FLQA, way over the 20. I got no problem. But my people aren't scattered to the four corners of the earth like the Knights Templar mission. If you're going to do that, I hope you're Krista Mayshore and you sponsor 100, that you're Mike Sherrard out of Canada and you sponsor 200. That's what it's going to take. And those people, you count those people on two hands, And so use your superpower or get people in who have the superpower. It's better to be a promoter. You don't need to be the speaker. And I'll say this, a lot of you are like, I'll tell all the EXP agents in the area, don't do it. I'd rather see you go to a mortgage company, it's free, title company, free, an attorney on the East Coast, go to their conference room. I'd rather see 6 chairs around that table. They're all full. You drag in 6 more, from other desks, you got 12, and then maybe 12 people standing, you got 24 people in a conference room designed for 6. The kind of energy that comes in like, oh my God, what is going on here? There's people everywhere. All you did was create energy because you didn't, but you guys, here's what you do. You get a conference room for 24 and 16 show up. There's 8 empty chairs and like, well, I'm such a sucker. Where did I come? Jam pack your rooms, get small rooms and blow it out. I want 10 people who can't get in them. Excuse me, if you've seen this before or you're at I got to ask you to leave the room. If you're not asking people to leave the room, you are blowing it. Small rooms, full. And now here's the cool part. If an EXP agent hears about it, hey, can I come? Sure. You're not non-exclusive, but this is not about you doing a meeting with 200 people and having 2 guests. This is about you doing a meeting with 20 or 30 people and having 10 or 15 or 20 guests. Like there are 35 people there, but I had 20 guests. Now we're cooking with gas. And I'm sorry, I talked so long. The person with their hand up gave up and said, forget this, I'm out of here. Nicole, Rosie, I'm sorry. I was just kind of on a roll. I do that. What, Nicole?
No, I mean, I can still ask the question, but you almost kind of told me no with how you were speaking. So my question was, when you go to an open house or a networking event, or you're traveling around the country and you're running into agents, how do you, I have a power person in my corner in my city that I can send agents to get all of the knowledge and learn. So I have that part easily, but how do I make that?
So you don't send people to them. You ask them,
Or
hey,
go with them.
let's speak. I'm doing an event at First American Title at Guild Mortgage, and they'll cater it. They'll buy the 10 sandwiches or the 15 sandwiches, cut them all in half. That feeds 30 people. And then you have the pressure of filling the room with your front line. They just speak for you and just say, do me a favor though, if someone gets excited and they want to be drawn to you, I'm working hard to get them there. Will you please refer them back to me? Most people say, it's like, I don't know if this guy will do that. She's aggressive. That's the EXP guy. He's aggressive. Well, then don't have him or her speak for you if they're that kind of person, right? I did one in Yuba City, an hour north of here, and this Coldwell Banker guest, she whispers, I can't stand the person I came here with. And I'm like, okay, red flag number 1. I will do this under one condition. You sponsor me. And she says, or I'm not coming to EXP. And I go, man, I'm flattered. Thank you. But there's no way I could do that. Nicole worked hard to bring you. Why would you go somewhere, someone you can't stand? That doesn't make any sense to me. And number 2, if I did sponsor you, say I did that, what would that do to Nicole? It would crush her. I mean, she brought you, I sponsor you. I can't do that. She says, then I'm not coming to EXP. I'm staying at Coldwell Banker. I said, no offense, but have a great life at Coldwell Banker. Have a great life at Coldwell Banker. I'm not doing that, but that's me. And not everyone plays that way, right? Well, Nicole, they don't want you, they want me. So be careful who you're inviting into your event, right? Be smart about it. If you bring people to events, sit with them. And if you're at an event with 100 people or 50 people or 200 people and someone's there with somebody else, oh, I've been talking to them. Whoa, why aren't they there with you? I didn't invite them.
Yeah.
I
appreciate
help them
that.
sign up.
I'm not scared because it's Cari and she, but I guess my question was, how do you, if you know you only maybe have 30 seconds before an agent sees a squirrel and gets distracted and runs away, how do you make that meaningful impact on somebody you maybe at an open house or a networking event so you can invite them to something?
Hey, let's meet for coffee next week. Let's meet for coffee next week. Let's go to lunch. And I'm going to teach you about KB Core. I'm going to teach you how to get 100 leads in a month at extra 1,200 leads a year. And I'm telling you right now, you'll sell minimum 10 homes this year. Average commission's 10 grand. You're going to make 100,000. It's so easy. And I don't call all 100 leads. I just look for the one that's like, hey, we're ready to list our home. Can you come tell us what it's worth? That's the one I call. I might call 10 out of the 100. And then I get 1 out of the 10. It's super easy. It may sound overwhelming, 1,200 leads. can you call 10 people next month? You just kind of go, this is BS. This is a good one. We're from Chicago. We got to relocate to Branson, Missouri. We're going to come into town next weekend. We saw your social media stuff. You look nice. Can you show us property? We have to buy a home that weekend. I'm calling that person, right? And now I quit working with the buyer's agents in 2010, but I would call them and say, yes, what 10 a.m., come by the office, let's meet. What do you want? Then I call Becky. I got a buyer's lead for you. Go to my number one buyer's agent who hasn't committed not to work with buyers yet. And then Becky's there with me and I hand off to Becky and I'll take a referral fee or whatever. And I don't work with buyers, but I will tee them up and hand them off because I only work with sellers. And then you only work with sellers between 500 and $1 million or $1 million and $3 million. And everything under $1 million goes to your listing specialist, Cari Briner, who, and you have, I hope that helps. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that if you can just get them to a coffee, Nicole actually does a great job with this. She sets tons of coffee appointments. Just come from a place of contribution, add value to their business or life, learn something from them. People are very complimented when you ask them how they're succeeding. They want to share. And then I think once they meet you in person, and Nicole, you've seen this, they're much more likely to come to our events. Because now you've made that in-person connection, you poured into them a little bit. And I think that has worked really well for you. So I think you just keep doing that. And we just keep having more and more events and then people are coming. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's super. You're making a great point. It's super important. When I was a Keller Williams team leader, I would do coffees with people, and nobody was joining Keller Williams. I was the first 3 months as a team leader, I epically failed. And then we had an event and I invited a bunch of people to the event and said, come, and then I'm going to scholarship you to the event. And you're going to learn about listings. You're going to learn about buyers. You're going to learn about systems and processes or social media. Then go back to Coldwell Banker, back to Century 21 and implement this and do well. And I go, well, come on, you want me to come to Keller Williams? So when people would say this, I go, well, sure I do. I love you. I'd love to work with you. I mean, well, obviously that would be great. But I just need you to know, Cari Briner, Nicole LaRossi, I am so good with you. If you really think Sotheby's or Realty one's where you need to be, I support that 110%. You come to this event because this is about the cute little kid you showed me at coffee. It's about your 2-year-old and your 4-year-old. There are bigger things than us being the same company. Would I love you to be at Keller Williams or EXP with me? 100%. We'd have so much fun together. But if you want to stay there, I'm all for it. But come. And so I do the coffee, invite to the event. So when I was just doing the coffees, nobody made the switch. The magic move, the people sponsor the people. They wanted to be a part of something. When it was just me at Starbucks, I was unsuccessful. Once I started getting people to events, now I want to say this, I want to make a distinction. You guys need to hear what I'm about to say. The successful team leaders at Keller Williams would always show up with 2, 3, 4, 5 guests, 2, 3, 4, 5 guests. The most successful team leader in the Sacramento area, which was a guy named Patrick Woods, he now owns 5 Keller Williams, but he was a team leader for one at Thomas. He would always show up with 5, 6, 7 guests, 5, 6, 7 guests, right? You bring 2, they both join, you added 2, 100% success rate. You bring 5, 6, 7, they all join. Do the numbers over the course of it, and you should have an event every single month. In Sacramento, every month, we do a 2-hour event. It's not all day, it's 2 hours. We may teach on open houses, we teach on database, we teach on social media, we may focus on TikTok, we may become a power listing agent, succeed with buyers, whatever it is. Every month we do like a 2-hour event. And so there's always something you could invite them to. Okay. But here's the point I was making. I got distracted. Shoot.
The events, I think getting people around people.
No, getting the team leaders would show up with 2, 3, 4 guests, maybe 5, and Patrick would bring 5 to 7. I would bring at least 14 every time. My record was 33 guests. And the business planning, people just say it up. I go, do you have a business plan? Well, sort of. I go, hey, Lonnie, Mark McCloskey, Leah, Rhonda, Mike and Kevin, sort of is not a business plan.
Yeah.
Write this down. I'm gonna write this down. Hope. You got to have hope. It's important. Hope is not a strategy. Everyone write it down. Say it because it rolls off your tongue. Listen to me. Hope is not a strategy. You need concrete step-by-step goals and a plan and ideas to implement. Q1, Q2, learn to talk like that. Quarter 1, quarter 2, 3, 4, Q1, Q2. initiatives, write down this word and write down the word. What are your initiatives for Q1? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. They don't have any initiatives. I go, you need to come to our business planning clinic. And that would be something you should all set up in the next 30 days. Like, well, I need more time. No, you don't. You call people, hey, next week, we're having a business planning clinic. You call them 2 months ahead of time, stop. Book one 30 days from now, get someone to come in and teach it. Well, who do I get? Ask questions. Someone comes in and teach it. You're going to get a workbook. And then you do something small. Though it's going to be small and intimate, about 20 of us, but you'll walk out of there with a step-by-step plan to make sure you don't repeat 2022. And it may have been great, 2022, but it may be really good for you. But how about great? How about outstanding? How about like mind-blowingly good? That's what you want. That won't happen unless you have a very clear roadmap. And our speaker, Cari Briner, our speaker, Brent Gove, our speaker, Amy Weaver, here's what she's done. Mark Gant has done this. The guy's from Tacoma, Washington. Every Microsoft came out of there, man. He built Microsoft with Bill Gates. He was Bill Gates' business. No, I'm kidding. Don't say that. But you it's how you say what you say. A lot of you can get my script or say what I say, but there's no energy behind it. There's no passion. No, I'm not. Do I talk to everybody like this? No. I'm trying to get you through this Zoom, transferring my energy. But I tell you, man, I'll pound on the table. I tell you what, nobody will market this listing like me. There's nobody that'll work harder, that'll go further. You say jump, I say, oh, I want this listing so bad I could taste it. You talk to your sellers that way? Hell yes, I do. I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to dress like everyone else. I don't want to look like everyone else. I don't want to sound like everyone else. I want to be different. And I'm not everyone's flavor. I don't get every listing I go to, but I get almost all of them. And they always say, man, you were just different. Your energy was off the frickin' chain. So did you go on the listing appointment before you went on the listing appointment? Did you do the inner winner? Did you see yourself going through the whole thing and then signing the listing? Are you an amateur? Or are you a professional? You're professionals. You guys are freaking amazing. You don't believe it because you didn't go to 10X. Oh, I can't afford it. Really? You bought a snowmobile. You didn't go to UPW. Oh, Tony Robbins weird. He walks on fire. Don't walk on the fire. Go to UPW. It's amazing. They'll change your life. Not Jesus changed my life. Jesus changed my life too. I get that. I'm totally into Jesus. But let me tell you what. I learned a lot about marketing from Tony Robbins and about certain things that were in the speakers and at 10X and John Maxwell and adding value. And you love them and you love them and you love them all year. And you're okay if they stay at Coldwell Banker. That's what they've excited. You're not just nice to them because they'll come to EXP. You're nice to them because you're a human being and you're called to be light in the darkness. You're called to be a lover, not to be hatred, not to hate the Democrats or hate the Republicans or just doggone stinking liberals. Ugh, those doggone nasty Republicans. Ugh. Who wants to join that ugly, nasty person on either side of the aisle? How about be the loving person? Like when you meet a really nasty person, F you. Well, F you. Well, up yours, up yours. Here's the bird. Here's the bird. How about this? How about this? Man, how about having empathy? Like, wow, what happened to her? What hell have they been through to make her that nasty? And pray for her. Put her on your prayer list. Put him on your prayer list. Like, man, something's going on. One time in 27 years, I went toe to toe with the Coldwell Banker agent. And he screamed at me and I screamed at him. I said, your office is at Douglas in Eureka, right? Yeah, I'll be in the lobby in 2 minutes. I'm right down the street, you mother effer. And I came park and fly up my tile. It was 2004. It was December 21st. It was Christmas and I'm bringing tidings of good cheer. I wanted to rip his head off. And we were nose to nose screaming, spitting at each other. 30 Coldwell Banker agents come out of his whole posse's behind him. They grab Ed, who's about to start swinging. I almost got in a fist fight. Never happened before since, you know me. Amy Weaver knows me. It's not who I am. And he just pushed my buttons and I reacted. What I didn't know is his daughter was his daughter was dying of cancer. Instead of having empathy for it, what the is your problem, man? How dare you talk to me like that? Like no one had ever, and I let it bug me. I was offended. And when you're offended, you build a fence. The word fence is in the word offended. Stop, be forgiving. The word giving's in the word forgiving. Give love, give forgiveness. Offense, build a fence, forgiving. What are you? Are you a wall builder? Have you walled off your own heart? And have empathy. By the way, when I went to Keller Williams, he was the #1 agent at Keller Williams. He'd left Coldwell Banker. He beat me there. I was the team leader. And we made up after that. I called him and asked his forgiveness. And he goes, you're a bigger man than me. I want to rip your lips off your face. I want to pulverize you. I would never, ever ask your forgiveness, ever. He's from New Jersey. And I said, dude, I was wrong. I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me so much. He goes, Brent Gove, I forgive you. You're a bigger man than me because I want to kill you. And he goes, we good? We good. I don't want to duck you at Safeway. You don't have to duck me at Safeway, brother. And we actually became friends. When I went to Keller Williams, he was the #1 agent. And there was no bigger supporter I had in that office than Edward Hannafat. Years later, he passed away from cancer and I cried like a baby. But when I went to, so have empathy for people. Anyway, so I'm off topic a little bit. I think we went over, didn't we?
That's okay. We're all engaged. This was amazing. There are more questions, but we probably don't have time for that. The only thing I would say is, can you tell us how we find the sermon you mentioned? Because multiple people have asked that. Do we just Google it? Will it show up if we Google the name?
How would I do it? I could send you a copy right now. Where's my phone? And you could put it in the chat bar.
Perfect.
Where
Yes.
is my phone? What did I do? Like vanished.
Or you can do it
I
after
think
the
my
call.
operations manager, he got tired of me blabbering and he
He took your phone.
He actually left and took my phone. He's like responding from me. That's so weird. James right there. He sits right there. He's heard me do this so much. Yeah.
No worries. I'll remind you, Brent. I'll remind you, you can just send it to me and then I'll
Send
post
me a
it
text.
in the
I'll
live
send you
stream.
the link. I sent it to my family, told my kids, it's 33 minutes. I've heard
We're all going to watch it.
The best one I've ever heard in 40 years. It was really good. And this guy by himself built South Africa for EXP. He was a real estate coach, and his church said, "Hey, pastor's off for Christmas. We do the message." It was so good. So I'll send it to Cari. She can maybe, if you have a thing, she can post it and if you want to hear it. But I told my kids $500. You got to answer 3 questions. I came up with 3 things. And I want to hear it. So good because I can wear way more about the long game than the short game.
Yes.
EXP is a short game. As much as we say EXP is a long game, in the world of real estate, it is a long game, but there's a longer game. It's called eternity and where you're going to be. And you got to feel secure in that. And then it makes you could love with abandon, recklessness, crazy love, man. You could be the forgiver, which is giving and loving, not the offender. I'm offended. How dare you build a fence? So I hope this was good today. I love you all. I hope to see you guys in Maui coming up at the end of this month. I got about 300 people coming. It's going to be awesome. And then in Cabo, you can still get a ticket. You can't get a room, but I'm telling you, rooms will open up. People will break an ankle. Hate to say it, happens. They'll get pregnant. The water broke like 3 months early. We're having a baby. We're not going to Cabo. Their passport, they forgot to renew check your passports if you're coming to Cabo. All of a sudden, 3 days for Cabo, like I can't get one that quick. We have a room available. So you'll get a room at the Hyatt Ziva if you want one, but you got to have faith. If you don't, dress like a mariachi band member. Same thing. But there's a will, there's a way. I have a presidential palace. I'll throw you in my room or something. But come. That's March 27th to April 1st. That's the most popular event we do. 1,200 people grab their passports and go to the Hyatt Ziva and come. It's so much fun. And then, of course, this year we have Build. And you can find all the information about all 3 of these at brentgove.com, my name.com, and Builds in San Antonio, Texas. We moved it from Dallas. We've been there for 2 years. So we completed that contract and we moved to the JW Marriott. It's the highest form of Marriott 5-star resort at the Hill Country in San Antonio, out in the Hill Country. And I bought out the entire resort, like just every room, thousands of rooms. 9-acre water park, lazy river, 2 18-hole championship golf courses, infinity edge pools overlooking those golf courses, brand new restaurants, brand new resort. It'll be the nicest real estate event you've ever been to. I think you can get silver tickets right now for this 3-day event at that venue for $397. I mean, it's crazy. And then gold tickets move you closer to the front, $697 for 3 days. So it's very affordable. And if you want to get a platinum ticket, you skip all the lines, skip the registration lines, skip everything, and you get there's unlimited food and drink and massage chairs. That's $997 for platinum tickets. So you can read the ticket choices. I think that's it. All that's at brentgove.com. Click on build. Oh, the dates for build are July 10th to the 12th. It's the only choice we had. Didn't love it close to the 4th of July, but it is a great family venue. This place you can totally bring the kids to. July 10th, 11th, and 12th in San Antonio, JW Marriott Hill Country. Go to that website and watch their video. Best video I've ever seen on a resort, and bring people. My first event, I brought 90.
Yeah.
And 19 of them were guests on my front line. I'd maybe sponsored 14, got them there. What are I gonna do? Pay for half your airplane ticket. I got them to share a room.
Oh, did we lose him? It's not me, it's Brent. Okay, I thought it was me. Brent, are you there?
You ran out of batteries.
Having me on.
That, oh, okay.
What?
Oh, there you are. We just lost you. Okay,
Oh.
you're back. So we're
That was
all going to
amazing.
Brent. That's okay. We thought your battery ran out. BrentGove.com. You guys definitely get to one of these events. I hope that I'm going to see you guys there. I'm excited to see you in person, Brent, of course. Thank you so much for being here. You really blessed us today. This is also live streamed at eXp Family Tree, so all of us can watch it. It will also be on my YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch it or bless it for somebody else, because this was amazing. And you guys, what a way to start off our year. Thank you, Brent, for being here. We really appreciate it. Go crush it today, you guys. Woohoo!
See you guys. Much love. Go get them.
Thank you.